A portion of this live stream is sponsored by StreamYard. If you've been thinking about live streaming lately and don't know where to begin, turn to the experts in StreamYard. Trust us, we use it, so why shouldn't you? Sign up for StreamYard through us. Use the special link down below in the description section and get a 14-day free trial with no credit card required to sign up. So please, click the special link down below in the description section and sign up for StreamYard today. StreamYard, for the most professional live streams ever. What's going on? Welcome to The Bottom Line, your home for reaction videos, interviews, live streams, sports talk, and more. Jimmy Finizzi here, along with my usual not my usual live stream crew, but I do have a party here in the house. I've got Jersey Joe, former co-host, Neil Villapiano, host of the Devil's State of Mind podcast, and our former intern, Matthew Lutz, aka Intern Matt. Gentlemen, I know how Joe and Neil are feeling, but Matt, it's been a while, my man. How you been?
I've been good. Just, I'm very excited for the second round, so.
Yeah, we all are. I think it's been crazy, and I see our guy Andrew has joined the chat. What's going on, my man? How you doing?
Andrew Huntington.
And, hey, listen, Devils fans, it is your day. Congratulations. You guys earned it. Joe, Neil, I probably know how you're feeling, but I'm gonna ask anyway. How are you gentlemen feeling today? I guess the camera audio didn't like Joe screaming there, so I don't know what he thinks.
Yeah, I think it might have completely crashed. At that point. Joe, do you want to try that again?
Hold on a sec. Should I exit and I'll come back?
No. You're fine, Joe. You're fine. We got you.
He could do that.
Well, first off, holy freaking hell! It felt like the Eastern Conference Finals in the first round, and I tell you, putting aside all the ESPN propaganda of the 1994 New York Rangers to bed, feels so good once again. I just hate seeing Ray Ferraro turn to the dark side.
Oh, God. Ray Ferraro's probably one of the worst announcers I've ever heard in my life.
I completely disagree
was
with
never
that.
like that.
What? Oh, come on!
He was never like that with the World Juniors. He was unbiased.
Okay. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
Well, Gord Miller kept him straight.
That's a fair point. Neil, how you doing, my guy? I know you've been busy with Devil's State of Mind, especially given the fact that with what the Devils did, you gotta be absolutely thrilled.
I'm on cloud nine since last night. I think last night went about as perfect as it could have gone if you're a Devils fan. Not only did the Devils answer the bell again, like they've done all year long, but they did it playing their game. They did it exactly the way that we were hoping that they would. And they dominated the game from start to finish. The Rangers really had no shot from the start to win this game, and the Devils made sure that they would never have an opportunity to. And the Devils silenced a lot of people last night. There were a lot of people that weren't even – they had no confidence that the Devils would win Game 7. They felt that the Devils were going to lay down and the Rangers were going to find a way once again to come out on top, and they didn't. The Devils shut them up, and it was you're not hearing a whole lot from the New York area over the throughout the day. It seems like all of a sudden hockey is not an importance to these people anymore. Now that both of their New York teams, I guess 3 if you want to count Buffalo, are not in the playoffs anymore, and the only team left in the New York metropolitan area is the New Jersey Devils. But I think for myself personally, watching this team over the last decade, knowing how difficult it has been, and Joe knows it as well.
Right back, guys.
Difficult it's
No
been,
worries, Matt. Go ahead.
how difficult it has been to see this team go through all the hardships, to go through all of that to get to where we are right now, going into the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs, putting ourselves one step closer to, the ultimate goal, I think is nothing short of overwhelmingly awesome. And to do it against your hated rival, to beat them for the first time in a game 7, to beat them in a playoff series once again, to get Lindy Ruff his first ever game 7 win, to have those workmanlike guys get rewarded and score in those big moments, to do all of that and to shut up all the doubters even after the first 2 games is such a rewarding feeling. And it's just been fantastic.
Hey, I don't blame you, and you, Joe, and Andrew are a few of the Devils fans that I actually do like, so I am going to be nice. But hey, listen, in all honest to God seriousness,
Yeah, I'm not going to be nice to any Ranger fan, and that includes you too.
No, well, nor should you be. Nor should you be. And I'm
going to.
gonna go off on my own fan base in a little bit. But so
Look, a
stay
Devils
tuned.
employee got punched in the face last night after the game from a Ranger fan. I really wish no.
I saw
wish
that. That
absolutely
was
Yeah.
Joe knows what I'm talking. It's like part of the woo. Literally, he's doing his job.
yeah.
It was on-
The Woo Crew, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, and that was on Twitter, and even my buddy in Canada, Jake Wakely, DM'd me privately, and I mean it's common knowledge at this point, but I did send that tweet to the city of Newark on Twitter, so that way they could find the guy and prosecute the guy.
It's probably the right move. All things considered, it's probably the right move. I mean,
It probably
that's
is.
a grown ass. The problem is that it's also like the dude is a grown ass man, and like the guy who works at the Woo Crew, and I have run into this guy before. Like, he's a really nice guy. The guy who works at the Woo Crew, he's a young dude. He's probably our age, probably my age at least.
Right.
I mean, there was no reason for him to get punched like that.
No.
I don't know if it was racial. I don't know if there were racial overtones to it as well. I don't want to go down that route. I know a Devils fan, and granted, the Devils fan kind of put himself in this position, but a Devils fan also got choked out by a Rangers fan. And again, the Devils fan kind of started it, but still, I mean, when I was at Game 6, I got spit on. I got pushed to the ground by Rangers fans. So I'm not really – I don't wish any of you good, honestly. I really don't. I just don't, because you know what? Just taking the analyst away from everything and speaking as only a fan, you guys got what you deserved. That's quite frankly what happened. You got what you deserved. There was so much, chest bumping and, beating of your chest after 2 games. And I got called the P word several times from Rangers fans after game 2, saying we were going to get swept. Yeah, that jerk off on TikTok who was, sweeping the floor after 2 games. And I went to game 6, and I was with my girlfriend, and she was sad. She was definitely sad. And I looked at her and I said, none of this is going to matter when we win game 7 in 2 days. And that's exactly what it is right now. All that excitement and everything, and saying that the Devils suck, New Jersey sucks, they hope Akira Schmidt gets AIDS, all that stuff, none of that is going to matter. And Jimmy, I'm actually surprised that you are shocked by this, because this is the fan base. I don't want to put you including in this, because you obviously are not like that.
No, I get it.
This is the fan base of the team that you are a fan of, for the in a good amount of it. So, to any Ranger fan that wants to bitch, moan, whatever, you got what you deserved. And I would say, as I said several times already, stay classy, because when you act like this, it may not happen immediately, but eventually you get your comeuppance. And that's what you got in game 7, and that's what you got throughout this entire series. So, yeah, I'm not happy about a lot of that, but the perfect poetic justice is knowing that we won't have to deal with them the rest of the year, and we're moving on to the second round, and they're not. So, there's that.
Wow. I mean, listen, I knew Ranger fans were toxic as hell, but I didn't know they would go to the lengths of this. I mean, dear God, do you people have no dignity? Honestly, do you have Do you have no shame? Now, I'm being dead serious when I say this here. To whoever is responsible for doing all that, especially to somebody who I truly care about, to my bottom left there, you ought to be a damn shame of yourself. I mean, look, seriously, all this guy was trying to do was go to a game and have fun and root for his team. That's it. There was no reason on God's green earth for you to do what you did to my friend over here. Whoever did that, shame on you. Period. Believe me, I got more to say to the fans in a little bit. That's not the only reason why I'm ticked off, but I know we're supposed to be doing a semifinal preview, and we'll get to that.
I think we should get to that, yeah.
Yeah, we should get to that, but
to me personally,
Joe,
it's not worth talking about the past. It's about talking about the future. Am I right, Joe?
Yeah,
you are right about that, even though I still have a lot to say about what happened. But, Joe, I do want to get your thoughts on the Devils winning this series. What are you thinking going in the second round?
Well, first off, I mean, a lot of people criticize the Devils being unexperienced or underexperienced for that matter. Yes. But you know what? Guys like Palat, Hala, Hamilton, they all bring that experience in the locker room immediately. Even after game 2, a guy like Akira Schmid, who's been in a couple AHL playoff hunts, it's his first NHL rodeo in the playoffs, but it's not his first actual playoff format professionally. So for him, being calm, cool, collected, I give him props.
Same here.
He was nothing but a Swiss guard in net, shutting out the Rangers twice in a row. Not twice in a row, but twice in the same series.
Right.
He did give up 5 goals. I'll give the Rangers that. But one of those should not have counted. The first one.
Yeah.
That penalty was not kosher. But I will say this. Never would I thought in my mind that we would have a future goaltender on our hands answering the bell like this so soon. This is wonderful. This is a guy I was down on a year ago during the COVID-shortened season that I wasn't so sure of, but he proved me wrong. I love when a goalie or a player proves me wrong. And going up against the Panaras, the Canes, the Trubas, the Foxes, you hear all these big names out there. He shuts them down. The Devils defense shutting them down in games 3, 4, 5, and 7. This is great because this team's growing and they're maturing like a Dutch cheese called Gouda, or you say Gouda, and they're really aging properly. And it's only going to age better as it gets older.
Oh, man. I mean, I think it's safe to say that I think you guys found your goalie of the future in Akira Schmid. I gotta give him a ton of credit, because this is a guy, after Vitek Vanacek absolutely got lit up the first 2 games, giving up 10 goals, Akira Schmid all of a sudden comes in out of nowhere in game 3, and all of a sudden, something clicked. And you want to know what clicked? Not only did Akira Schmid click and was calm, cool, and collected, but the Devils as a team, as a unit, clicked. They were faster, they were more aggressive, they were getting more shots on net than the Rangers were, they were defending, they were just an overall better team than the New York Rangers. And that is the reason why, if you recall, in the last live stream that we were on where we predicted the quarterfinals, I, a Rangers fan, predicted that the Devils were going to win the series in 7. So did Neil. Joe picked them too. So did Andrew. Alright? And there was a reason for it. It was because the Rangers, like I predicted exactly what would happen, they relied on Shesterkin too much again, and it bit them right in the ass. Igor Shesterkin was the Rangers' best player in that entire series, and nobody can convince me otherwise. You cannot win games. Neil, you know this. I said this on the Michael K. Show earlier today, and I'm going to say it here. You cannot win games when your power play goes from being so dominant the first 2 games to all of a sudden being so anemic the last 4 games of the series. All right? Your power play is anemic. You can't shoot. You can't defend. all of a sudden your big guys don't show up in Panarin, Mika, Kreider, Fox. They don't show up. Kane didn't show up either, but that's another discussion for another day. Your big guys didn't show up, and you don't help your goalie. This has an instance of Henrik Lundqvist all over again, in the instance in which Shesterkin got no help, and neither did Henrik Lundqvist. So to all you Ranger fans that were predicting sweep after a 2-0 series lead, how's it looking on you now? You got egg on your face. This is why I hate a majority of you and your faces. Because you're quick to assume that once you look, you can have as much talent all you want to on paper. If it does not show up on the ice, it won't do you any good. And it didn't do the Rangers any good in this series. The Devils have more talent than the Rangers do. They have more offensive firepower than the Rangers do. And they are much better defensively. Igor Shesterkin was their best player, but the Devils as a team were much better. That's all I gotta say. And to the fan base, screw you. I can't stand you right now. I don't want to talk to you. And all of you should learn how to be classy as hell, especially when it comes to people that I care about, like this guy in my bottom left right here. Screw all of you, and I hope you get what you freaking deserve. Period.
So does that make me the bottom left of the bottom line? Like, serious.
Well, you're not bottom left out. You're bottom.
Wow.
That's a good point, Joe. I'm sorry. I just needed to add some comic relief there.
Well,
but
you know,
I think
Jimmy.
Jimmy. Let's put it this way, right?
go ahead.
What's done is done, and now I think it's time to look to round two. I think that would be. I think
I agree. I agree. I agree. I just been holding in those feelings since last night. Because do you know I got?
Oh God, here we go.
No. Hold. Just this one last thing, and then we'll move on. I promise.
All right.
One last thing. I got killed by my own fan base for picking the Devils in 7 again. How's it looking on you now? Do you feel good? Didn't think so,
Mr. Krabs.
Now we can move on. Anyway, let's get to the semifinals here, shall we? Now that I got what I wanted to off my chest and we got everything we wanted to out of the way, let's get into this series here, shall we?
I don't think it's like Joe and I got out everything we want. I think that was just all you, buddy. We're good.
Yeah, you could say that.
We're chilling.
You could say that.
You did it for us.
All right. So with that being said, let's get into these semifinals, shall we?
Sure.
Let's start in the West first. I always like to start off in the West and then go to the East. First series I want to predict here, and Matt will hopefully join us in just a second here as he's just getting home from work, so he'll join us in a sec, because he is the only one that picked the Seattle Kraken to beat the Avs in 7. And lo and behold, it happened. So, hey, listen, I'm super happy for Seattle. Good on them. It's their second year in the league, and they beat the defending Stanley Cup champions. Good on them.
Love it.
So now they face the Dallas Stars. This is going to be a very, very interesting series. So we're going to do like we always do. I'm just going to go around the table here and see what you guys think. So, Neil, I'm going to start with you. Who you got in this series?
I got the Kraken in 6.
Oh my!
I have the Kraken
actually,
yeah,
wow!
Because, like, it's fun. I like the Kraken. I like their fan base. I like their team.
I get it.
I'm like, look, don't get me wrong. Dallas is also a very fun team in its own right. It's totally. They definitely are as good as anybody to win the West. I think that remember most of the year they were in first place in the Western Conference. So this is a very good team.
True.
Jason Robertson. All these different guys. Joe Pavelski's coming back, so they have that. Mara Heiskanen, Jake Ottinger, all these different guys were just really, really, playing well, and you love to see it. But I just feel like with Seattle coming off that series against Colorado and having the success that they did, they kind of look at it like, well, why not us? Why can't we also go out there and have success? I think it's going to come down to goaltending. It will be a question of, can Philip Grubauer continue to have the success that he's had in these playoffs? I know goaltending has been a question mark throughout the year for Seattle.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that Seattle has a chance to be sneaky, and steal a game, at least one in Dallas. And I do think they're going to find a way to win this series, with a little bit of puck luck. So I'm going to go with Seattle in 6.
Well, Matt, since you were the only one that picked the Kraken to beat the defending Cup champions, what do you think about their series against Dallas, and who do you have winning?
So with watching the Dallas and Minnesota series, I was like really hoping that Minnesota would have pulled this off, but I knew in the back of my mind, I think the goaltending of Onger for Dallas was going to be amazing, and he showed it up. And so I think with this series between Dallas and Seattle, and watching the Seattle versus Colorado series, I think Seattle has great scoring. Philip Grubauer showed up, which is amazing.
No, he did.
And what I'm going to say is everybody was like, oh, who's going to be the goaltending for Seattle? But nobody expected Grubauer to put on this performance. So I was like, I think Grubauer is going to do this. So I think it's going to come down to a goaltending matchup. But I can see this series going 7 games. And I think Seattle can pull this off again.
Seattle in 7. All right, so Neil has Seattle in 6. Matt has Seattle in 7. Joe, what about you?
I have Seattle as well in 7. I believe it's going to be Ryan Donato. You have Schwartz. Grubauer is going to be an X factor. And I really want to see Matty Beniers light it up. I mean, you hear all the talk about the Jason Robertsons of Dallas. You hear about the Jamie Benns and the Tyler Sagans. But they're getting older. But, I mean, Heiskanen is going to be dangerous. It's not going to be easy. But I still think when it comes to extended periods of time that it's going to favor Seattle more. And Grubauer is on his FU tour from over a season ago after having a really, really bad year. And if Seattle can outpace Ottinger's defense, Ottinger won't be the best in the West. It'll end up being Grubauer.
All right, so, I mean, listen, man. Like I said, I think this is the series that I'm most looking forward to in the West. I mean, Vegas and Edmonton does sound like a lot of fun, but this is the series that I'm really looking most forward to because of the youth of Seattle. I love the talent on Dallas, but at the end of the day, I do agree with you guys in the fact that it is going to be a battle of the goaltenders, and I actually have to concede Seattle in 6. I actually think they're gonna pull it off. Hey, they shut me up against the Avs, so I gotta give them credit where credit is due, and I actually think that they're going to move on to the Western Conference Finals. I do have picks here from Andrew and Austin in regards to that series as well. Andrew has Seattle in 7. And Austin has Seattle in 6, so we are all riding high on the Seattle Kraken. So very, very impressive here. So now let's go to the other series in the West. We got the Oilers and Vegas. I mean, listen, man.
It's good.
Edmonton has more offensive firepower just because of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl alone. Okay? They're 2 of the best players in the NHL. And to be honest with you, that's all the Oilers got. I really don't know what to think of this series. I mean, for me, if Vegas wants a chance to win this series, I think this series is also going to come down to goaltending. But I think that Jonathan Quick needs to get at least a sniff in this series. I haven't seen... Has Jonathan Quick played once in these playoffs?
No, he didn't. It was all Laurent Brossoit that took
it was all Brossoit. Okay,
yeah.
Then that should tell you something right there.
They won in 5.
Yeah, they did.
Still, you can't give Jonathan Quick one game at least.
There's no reason to play him.
Oh my God! So then what'd you sign him for?
Besides Ottinger,
because
Grubauer.
The Kings are morons. I don't know what you want from that. Like,
Joe, what were you gonna?
You think Jonathan Quick's gonna be butthurt if he goes and wins another cup as a backup in Vegas? No.
No, but even still,
Jimmy, you won in 5 games with Brossois and net. There's no reason to change anything.
I guess. Joe, what were you gonna say?
Changing Brossois for Quick would be like changing Schmid. You don't want to do that. You want to roll with your hot hand. Just let him rip, baby. Just let him do his job, and let Jonathan Quick earn zero state income taxes in Vegas. In Nevada.
Income taxes. What?
I'm just telling you, it's going to be beneficial for him that way. But if he wins a Stanley Cup, it's gravy. It's gravy, baby. But I'm telling you, Vegas has the better defensive system, in my honest belief.
Yeah.
But I just don't see the Oilers edging them out. I see Vegas pulling a sweep, baby.
A sweep? Yo, boy!
Look at how leaky Edmonton and LA were. It wasn't even a defensive match. It was a blow fest.
That's a new one I'm gonna have to borrow from you one day.
If a sweep happens, I will be happy. I will be happy.
Right off the bat, we got a bold prediction from Joe. Vegas not only winning the series, but a sweep.
I would love to know what Austin's prediction is.
We'll get to that in a second. Matt,
give it to me now. No, I want to hear it now. Give it.
You want to hear it now?
Yeah, give me.
Yes, I want to hear it. I want to hear it.
I know the rivalry between him and Matt. I want to know how this goes.
Austin has Vegas in 7.
He thinks he's gonna go all 7. Oh, geez.
He thinks Vegas in 7.
I'll give him that. He's being generous.
Yes, he is. He is. Matt, you're the other Vegas fan here. What do you think?
I would love to see the sweep, but I just don't think it's happening.
No.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be really close between these two teams. I'm gonna say Vegas is gonna win this in 6 games.
6. All right. You're being generous as well. That's not bad.
Jim,
Apparently, I'm more conservative than Don Cherry.
I'll give you that much. But listen, man. Like I said, this is going to be very interesting. Like I said, Edmonton has a lot more offensive firepower just because of McDavid and Draisaitl. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to be enough. I think Vegas's defense is going to be just enough to not quiet them per se, but try to cool them down enough. So I'm going to say Vegas in 6.
Who does Andrew have?
Andrew, let me see. Also Vegas in 7.
Nice.
Wow.
Like
Neil, it's all you.
Yeah, so this is actually a really fun series, I think. Vegas has a lot of old players. Just calling it like it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt, I'm just being honest.
Don't worry, I don't care.
I mean, Eichel's not old, so there's that.
Yeah.
The goaltending situation is hilarious to me because it reminds me of for Vegas, it reminds me of the Kings in 2014 when they played 4 or 5 goaltenders and they still were really good. So and Bruce Cassidy, I mean, good job by him. Really solid coach, not gonna lie. And you look at Edmonton and you say to yourself, they have Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and that's about it. There are question marks in net. Is it Jack Campbell? Is it Skinner with that beautiful playoff mustache? Who knows? He'll definitely need a new stick going into round 2, considering what happened earlier in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to throw a curveball at everybody. I have Edmonton in 6.
Oh!
Wow!
And I'll tell you why. Right. It's not because of McDavid, and it's not because of Draisaitl. It's because of Evander Kane.
Oh my God.
Evander Kane stepped up a lot last year, played pretty well in the first round against LA. And another guy I think also that you guys I feel like are not talking about.
No worries, Andrew. Take care and have fun with your mom.
Another guy you're not talking I feel like you're not talking about enough is Evan Bouchard.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Really been really good defensively. And the one thing that the Golden Knights don't do well, and Matt and Austin could probably elaborate this on more. They can disagree with me, but just based on what I've seen, speed is something that the Golden Knights struggle with a little bit.
Yeah, you're not.
And reminder: who is the fastest skater in the NHL right now?
McDavid.
It'd have to be
Connor
Connor McDavid.
McDavid.
Yeah.
Connor McDavid
Connor
goes
McDavid.
Connor McDavid goes wee all around the ice and makes plays. Leon Draisaitl, this might be the year that Draisaitl could win, like maybe like the the Conn Smythe if Edmonton goes that far, because I think that he really is that good. He's developed. Also, here's another guy. I'll throw you another guy that keep your eye on. Kyler Yamamoto.
Oh yeah.
Keep an eye on him. Just I'm not gonna tell you why. Just keep an eye on him. That's all I'm saying. So I actually,
They don't have defense.
What?
They don't have defense.
What the hell, man?
They didn't have defense last year. We went to the conference finals.
If you're gonna blow up, it's gonna be because of your defensive schemes suck.
Also, don't forget about the Nuge.
Wow.
Ryan Nugent-Hopkins had over 100 points.
Will get nudged.
This is why I do this show.
No, here's a fun fact for you, and I found this out when I interviewed Joe one time. When the Devils got Taylor Hall, he actually preferred Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, which was honestly not a bad thing.
Okay.
Ooh,
Okay.
That's false.
False. All right.
But, no, I like Edmonton. I do. As much as they annoy the crap out of me, I do like them. They annoy me because it's, for me, I don't hate Oilers. I don't hate their fan base. It's like, can you just get over the hump?
Yeah.
Please?
Pretty much.
Like it's like, that's what it's like with the Leafs until now. It's like, please? Like one time? just one time. We're not asking for a lot. Just one time.
Well, speaking of the Leafs, they finally did it, Neil. They finally shut us all up and actually won a playoff series for the first time since 2004. And now, can we start taking them seriously? That is the main question. And we will find out against the Florida Panthers. You're saying no already.
Start with me. Start with me on this one.
Well, all right. So let's go to the. Well, by the way, speaking of the Panthers, before I go to you, Neil, give them a ton of credit for a team that barely snuck in the playoffs. It took them until the last day of the season to make the playoffs, and they took out the high and mighty Boston Bruins in 7 games. God damn.
I like how Neil's just raising his hand.
We like the real winner, the real hero for the Panthers is Sidney Crosby.
Sidney Crosby?
Because he got hurt late in the year and missed like a game or two, and the Penguins ended up imploding and missing the playoffs. Who jumped the Penguins into the playoffs?
Yeah, no, yep.
Shout out to Sidney Crosby, who still affects the playoffs despite not playing in them.
That's a fair point. I'll give you that. So, but hey, listen, man, in all seriousness, huge shout out to the Panthers, the comeback cats. I mean, you literally cannot put them to bed. They are pesky as hell. Shout outs to them. Well, I was so happy when they scored that goal in overtime. I literally said, yes, thank you, Florida. You did it. You knocked off the Bruins. Congratulations. But anyway, Neil, I know you want to go first on this series. The floor is yours, man.
I just had to do that. Sorry. That was my Anson Carter impression. I know that was bad. It's really bad. But, you have an opportunity to see two of the best American-born hockey players go at it in Austin Matthews and Matthew Tkachuk. Matthew Tkachuk is in demon mode right now. This is a different Matthew Tkachuk than we've seen before. He is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. I'll start really quickly with the Panthers really quickly. Like I said, Matthew Tkachuk, Brandon Montour had a absolutely phenomenal first round, tied the game. Carter Verhaeghe, who was traded for a European goaltender from the Islanders to Florida a couple years ago, scores the game winner. It's really big that Anthony Duclair is back and fully healthy. I think Aaron Ekblad proved he's a top 15, maybe top 10 defenseman with the way he played. And Sergei Bobrovsky loves to be in the middle of NHL history by being a part of two of the biggest upsets in NHL Stanley Cup playoff history. And I really thought the Panthers were done when they put in Bobrovsky for Game 5. But go back to Matthew Tkachuk saying after Game 5, we're going to be back here for Game 7 and we're going to win. And he was absolutely right about that. Alexander Barkov was really quiet, but that's a good thing. Because if he's quiet now you got another opportunity in round 2. And Paul Maurice, I mean, what can you say, man? He's a proven playoff winner. And he needed a year off to re-energize himself, and he goes to Florida. And I know a lot of people were critical of them not keeping Andrew Burnett, but I think it worked out for them just fine. I mean, it worked out for both teams that I'm talking about, Devils and Florida, just fine. There's a lot of things to like about the Florida Panthers, except the fact that they still cannot fill out their entire arena during playoff games. A little trouble with that.
Insane.
But
That's an
anyway,
embarrassment.
good for them. Toronto Maple Leafs.
Ugh.
Thank fuck. Thank fuck. Because when they lost Game 5, I said to myself, "It's happening again."
So did I.
We all thought it was gonna. We all thought they were gonna shit the bed and get swept and get reverse swept, but here we are.
But they found a way. I mean, even when it went to overtime, I was still like, "Yeah, Tampa's gonna score and it's going 7. It's gonna happen. Like, I don't care anymore." And then, and granted, I was at Game 6, Devils Rangers, so I didn't watch the game. But I just got on my phone really quickly, and it said Maple Leafs finally did it. And I was like, really? And it was John Tavares. So, yeah, it was awesome. I mean, good for Toronto to finally get over that hump. Major weight has been lifted. And so now they're kind of in new territory for the first time in over 2 decades. It's kind of a weird thing for them. But you can't deny the talent. Austin Matthews, Mitch Marner, William Nylander, Morgan Riley, John Tavares, Ryan O'Reilly. Their goaltending actually has been better, I think. Ilya Samsonov, I think, has really, really taken the reins as number 1 guy on that team. And, I mean, this is a battle-tested team now. They've gone through so much pain that they finally get over the hump. And this is going to be exciting. But for me, give me the Panthers in 6.
All right. Panthers in 6.
I don't think that's
it.
that outlandish because I think the Panthers are ready to go.
All right.
People, for some reason, I keep hearing consistently Leafs in 5, and I'm like, so the Panthers winning in 7 against Boston was a fluke? Like, this is not a Cinderella team we're talking about.
Leafs in 5? No.
Also,
Stop yourself.
Here's my under-the-radar guy to keep an eye on for Florida. Anton Lundell. Watch him. He was really good in
Finnish
round
producer.
1.
Yes.
Exactly, Joe. So, yeah, give me the Panthers in 6.
Well, Joe, what about you?
Nothing would be better. Devils, Panthers,
in 4.
Wait, what's that?
I have Panthers winning in 5, actually.
Wait, no, time out. You said sweep. You said sweep. Which one is it?
Panthers in 5. I have
Panthers in 5. All right, fine.
Games 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Wow. So my man said sweep initially. Now he's taking it back and saying 5. See, he's trying to be a little
because
respectful.
I gotta be fair for Toronto because then they're like, oh, at least we won a game in the second round. And freaking Mel Kiper is stroking off the Leafs in Game 1.
Oh my God.
Mel Kiper
and Dick Kiprios. But anyways, like what really gets me going about the Panthers is that they got Matthew Tkachuk who can grind you down. He can score, agitate, a little everything. Sam Bennett can score. I wouldn't be surprised if Duclair did his thing. And I mean, Lundell is a playmaker. There's a reason why he was drafted rather high in his draft class. So, and Duclair, when healthy, he's fast and he can be dangerous as a depth player. But Bobrovsky and Lyon, that's a really good tandem for Florida. And if you can get to Samsonov's head, and guys like Tavares and Nylander can't handle the big physical guys. They need guys like Bunting and Matthew Nyes to really do that extra hard work. So I really think it favors Florida in that sense.
Nice.
Matt?
Oh man, I want to see this series go all the way to Game 7, but it's gonna be tough to pick the winner. But I'm gonna say I want to see Toronto go to the. I'm gonna say. You know what? I'm gonna say Toronto in 7.
Wow, Toronto in 7. Yo, he's going for it. Oh man. All right.
I mean, like, I chose the Florida Panthers to win that series between Boston, but I think with Toronto getting past round 1 now, I think I think it's gonna be tough to try and beat them. I think it's gonna happen. Toronto's gonna go to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Can you imagine what the city of Toronto was going to do if they make the the Eastern Conference Finals? If you thought they went crazy for winning the previous series, imagine what they'll do if they win this series. The city will probably be on fire, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
Well, but if that happens, we'll talk about it. But before I give my pick, let me pull up predictions from Andrew and Austin here. So Andrew has the Panthers in 7 games.
Okay.
And Austin, being typical as hell, he also has Toronto in 7, like you do, Matt.
Well, because
I just like how me and Austin
Austin's a fan of like half the teams in the league. We never really know what team he actually is a fan of.
True.
Well, that's Austin for you, so
That is true. I mean, he is from Vegas, so he's Vegas first, but even still, I happen to agree with you there.
No,
but even still,
no, Jimmy, he's Rockford Ice Dogs first. Get it right.
okay, all right, okay. You are right about that. You are right.
And then whatever that Henderson team is, Matt, what is it called?
Henderson
Silver Knights.
Silver Knights. That's hilarious. Don't they also have chrome helmets?
Yes, they do.
All right. Can we move on?
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, look, I can't wait for this series. I really can't wait for this series. This is going to come down to offense in my mind. Like both teams have the offensive firepower to score a lot of goals here. What's that?
Yes.
We're
still on the Panthers and
yes.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry, I had to step away for a minute. I didn't know if we were still in the Panthers.
No. You're good.
Ignore that reaction I just gave like 30 seconds ago. Then.
Yeah. You're good. But listen, man, I may sound like I'm on drugs here. You can call me whatever you want. I don't care.
Lord.
Jim, don't do it.
Not only do I think that Toronto's going to win this series.
Don't you dare.
They're gonna
How
do
many
it in
games?
5. They're going to do it in 5.
5 games.
They're going to do it in 5. Listen, I like this Panthers team. I really do. Look, if I'm wrong, I will come straight on these airwaves and say I was dead wrong about the Toronto Maple Leafs. I will do it.
No, you have to get a Florida Panthers suit and wear it.
A suit? Oh God, a suit?
You have to go on Etsy and find the suit. and then you have to come up with a Panther sound and like make it. You have to do the whole thing.
That'd be some bad. But listen, no, in all seriousness, I really like this Toronto team. I really do. Like you said, Neil, they're battle tested. I think they're ready.
Lord.
I think Austin Matthews is probably going to have the best series of his life, along with William Nylander. And look, I still, as good as Sergei Bobrovsky looked, I still have major question marks about him. I really do. I really would rather trust Alex Lyon. That's just me. But I like this Panthers team offensively. I do. But I think Toronto's going to be too much for them to handle. Give me Toronto in 5.
You're on drugs.
I know I am, but I don't give a damn.
Not for picking Toronto, but just in 5.
I know I might be on drugs, but I don't care. So now, let's get to your series, boys, shall we? Devils and the Hurricanes. I know you two are begging to talk about this one. Listen, I'm actually really excited for this one, too. This is going to be... Look, Carolina is probably happy as hell that they're not playing the Rangers because they know the Rangers have their number, at least in the playoffs, but that's beside the point. But this series is going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to go last here. I want the Devils fans to go first. Jersey Joe, what do you think? Who's going to the Eastern Conference Finals?
Joe, if you say Devils in 4, I'm walking off right now. Devils in 4.
I'm not even thinking about that number right now.
Thank you.
Okay.
I'm going in 6. Devils.
Oh,
6. All right, 6. All right. I was
It's-
gonna say, please do not let Neil walk out of the room.
he said
it's
Panthers
just-
in
it's
4.
ju- all it is just gonna be like one win in Carolina, and then everything else goes New Jersey's way with Schmeed, baby.
There you go.
All because they just play VTech and they lose that one.
Neil, what about you?
I have like less emotion going into the second round. I don't know why.
Okay.
Maybe it's just because like how much this series took out of me. For the first round, but the Devils have constantly proven that they can beat anybody they want to. They've done it before and they could do it again. And despite Carolina having some of their top guys out, no Teuvo Teravainen. I don't know if Teravainen's out for the whole playoffs or not.
I'm not sure. I know
didn't see
Svechnikov is
anything.
still.
Svechnikov is out. Pacioretty's out.
Yep.
Teravainen, I think, is out. I think.
Stand
I
by.
don't remember.
I'll find that out.
'Cause I know he got hurt in game 5, I think it was.
Yeah, 5.
Yeah, it was game 5. You're right.
Yeah, it broke his hand or his wrist, got him on the arm somewhere.
Yeah.
And then you have
Actually, I do have an update here, Neil. I'm sorry. He is out for the foreseeable future, so that pretty much means for the rest of the playoffs.
it probably means he's out for the playoffs, which is unfortunate.
What about
I wanted to play Carolina at full strength, honestly and truly. Like that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
Because if the Devils win this series, I don't want people to say, "Oh, well, Carolina lost because they don't have their top guys like playing." Like, I don't want. And if they win, and if Carolina wins, they'll say, "Oh, they did it in spite of not having their top guys." It's like,
Exactly.
no, they're still a good team. Freddie Anderson, Antti Ranta. I think you got to feel confident about either guy in net. Particularly Ranta, because he can steal games. I've seen it before.
Yes.
I think he can do it. Also, Ranta doesn't seem to do well on the road, but when he plays in Carolina, he's like great. So maybe you just don't play him in games 3 and 4, depending on how the series goes.
Right.
But I look at the Devils, just like the Panthers, battle tested, everything like that. I do believe that they are going to find a way to win this series, and I'm going to go with the Devils also in 6. I'm rocking with Joe's prediction as well.
Okay.
I mean, it's
like
not
it.
Igor
I like
Shesterkin
it.
in that.
What's that?
No, it's a lot different. It's a lot different going up against.
Exactly.
It's weird.
Oh man, Matt,
I mean, for
what
the
do you
Devils
think?
to face arguably the best goaltender in the playoffs in round 1 and win like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
that should say something right there. Matt, what about you?
Matt, be
Man,
Matt,
I was just
Matt, please
What?
be kind.
I am. So what I was gonna say was watching the Devils and Rangers series. I was like, I know that series is gonna go to 7. I mean, like, I was hoping that the Devils were gonna. I mean, excuse me, the Rangers were gonna put up a fight in Game 7, but you know what happened? They just didn't show up. So,
Nope.
but with the Devils, I mean, they are surprising me a whole bunch, and like I'm with Eric Hall. I'm former Vegas Golden Knight. I love him. My question is Timo Meyer going to be able to play, or is he injured right now? Because I know he took that big hit.
I know they tested him for a concussion, but it looks like he's going to be okay.
He didn't have a concussion. He broke his nose.
He broke his nose. Oh, okay.
You could see it too. It was like a big gash, like right in the middle.
But I did hear he should be good to go for the first game tomorrow. Am I right about that?
Okay.
You would be correct.
Okay.
Lindy Ruff basically said he's waiting for good news.
Okay.
Which, like,
all right.
waiting for good news, like, and Joe can elaborate on this. Waiting for good news is good news.
Fair enough.
Right?
Anyway,
It's not an oxymoron. It's actual news.
fair enough.
It's actual news. Yeah.
Anyway, Matt, please continue.
But with the youngster, like, there's a bunch of young players on the Devils, which I'm really liking and stuff. But I'm gonna say Devils are gonna win this series, and I'm gonna say I think it's gonna go all the way to the distance. I'm gonna say Devils in 7.
Wow, in 7. I like it.
7.
All right. Well.
I thought when you said you were going last, did you mean after Andrew and?
Oh,
Austin's
yes.
predictions, or
I
you
apologize. Let me. I
just
apologize.
wanna make
Let me pull up the predictions now here. So Andrew has Devils in 7 also. And
Oh, he actually likes the Devils.
yeah,
Wow.
he does.
What a star. Hey,
And
do me a favor.
well,
Like, when you get a chance,
Austin,
Jimmy,
what's
I was
that?
going to say, Jimmy, when you get a chance, can you ask Kim if she has the Devils losing in this round too?
Oh,
I just want to know. Like, I
just
just
to
want to
be
know.
a troll. All right. Well, speaking of trolls, Austin I don't know if he made this pick to troll you or if he actually means it, but he does have Carolina in 5.
Is he smoking the good stuff?
Apparently he must
smoking
be.
the bad stuff.
So Andrew has a brain and Austin doesn't.
Well, I think you know something.
Yeah.
You remember?
Look, hold on. Look, in all seriousness, like I don't mind anybody picking Carolina. I don't. Like if
But
you pick
5
them,
games?
good for you. It's the games that like confuses
Come
me.
on, man.
It's like the Devils are not going to lay down and die.
Mm.
Like I don't get why people think every time that the Devils are going to lay down and die.
Yeah,
I
no,
don't get where this is
that's not happening in this series. I'm sorry.
Can I make a comment? You remember
Yeah.
the comment Austin made about me saying I was crazy when Kuzi? Oh, we all know Kuzi's selling this good stuff to him in the offseason. I think he's got some of that good stuff right now.
I was gonna
5
say.
games, Austin. Are you serious? You are smoking the good stuff, my guy. I'm sorry, but no.
I have a feeling he's just doing it to troll Neil, but that's just me. I don't know.
You're making your official prediction a troll. That seems like a really weird
Hey,
strategy.
I don't know if he is. I don't know. I'm just going off an assumption. I have no idea if he made that pick to troll you or if he actually means it. But either way, he's crazy. We all know that. But anyway, this one's tough for me because, like you said, Carolina's shorthanded. I still look. They surprised me by winning their last series because I said I didn't trust them without I didn't trust them without Teravainen. I didn't trust them without Svechnikov, and I still don't, to be honest with you.
I trust
the
them.
The Devils have more of the offensive firepower than Carolina does at this point. I think that this is going to come down to goaltending.
Stop doing this.
What?
Stop the reverse psychology thing on us.
Who said I was doing reverse psychology? Stop! You didn't even let me finish.
Okay.
Thank you. No, listen, in all seriousness, I think this is going to be a goaltender's battle. I really do. Between Freddie Anderson, Antti Ranta, and Akira Schmid.
And Vitek.
And Vanacek.
Vitek
This is going to be a goaltender's duel, man. I mean, regardless of how many games I take, I think it's going to go 7. This series is going 7 games. I gotta be as honest as I can be here because this team, I picked them last series. I'm picking them again. The New Jersey Devils are going to the Eastern Conference Finals in 7 games. Look, listen, man. Look, you can kill me all you want. I don't care.
No one's gonna kill you, Jimmy. Nobody's gonna kill you for that.
I'm talking to the Ranger fans who are probably going to kill me right now. But do you think I give a crap? No,
Why
I don't.
would they care? They're out of the playoffs. Jeez.
It is what it is. But listen, the Devils, in my opinion, are a better team than Carolina right now.
That doesn't mean the better team always wins.
Look, Jack Hughes is only going to get better. Jack Hughes is only going to get better. Timo Meier, I think, will show up. He was relatively quiet in the last series, but I think he'll show up just fine. Dougie Hamilton, I think, will show up. Look, if the Devils can just keep doing what they've been doing, which is be fast, be aggressive, get pucks on net, and defend, they're going to win this series, and they're going to do it in 7.
Jimmy sounds like a typical hockey coach. Get pucks on net.
Hey, you know what? If somebody called me to be a coach, I'd do it.
I don't know if I trust you.
Oh, come on.
You make about as many games.
John Hyde, he's good.
I hate you so much.
I was gonna say, Jimmy, you make about as many in-game adjustments as Gerard Gallant did this entire series.
Wow. Wow. This is where we're going.
And it's not even his fault. That's the best part. He's gonna get fired and it's not even his fault.
Thank you. You
know who's to blame? I'll tell you who's to blame. Braden Schneider.
Oh my God. What did Braden Schneider do to you?
He wears number 4 and it looks weird on him.
Oh, come on.
There's really no reason.
Oh, come on.
So you're
No, I
saying
like.
this guy's
right.
No. I just wanted to say that to be funny. That literally has nothing to do with anything. No,
Brandon
it's all good.
Schneider's my boy, man. What are you doing?
Jesus.
Can I?
Another young defenseman you're hoping is your boy. I don't know about that.
Matt, what were you gonna say?
Hey, you were a fan. Hey, you were a fan of Tony D'Angelo before he became psycho.
Yeah, well, now he's just a clown who doesn't deserve to be in the National Hockey League right now. But that's beside
I
the
don't think he
point.
deserves to be in work.
Matt, what were you gonna say?
So I know I was away from you from the thing, but I heard you guys were talking about what I saw something on Instagram with the fans and everything. I mean, yes, the Ranger fans. I mean, you're ridiculous. You're choking out a Devils fan. Like, really? What the hell are you? Like, why are you choking out the fans?
Yeah.
Like,
The
It's
Rangers,
ridiculous.
Because they're
to be
Ranger
fair,
fans
though,
and they
the
have no
Devils fans
life.
started it. To be fair, I'm just saying. Devils fan pushed the Rangers fan and like made him drop all of his stuff. Like
Well,
that's what started.
even still, there's no excuse for that.
I know. I'm just saying. Like, there's always like you gotta if you can find the whole video, then you get the whole evidence.
okay,
By
I'd
the
rather
way,
not
both-
see that video footage again, but that's just me.
By the way, those two guys were both wrong. But when you throw your arms around someone in a lock like that, that's just not right.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
No, you're
You
right.
can't do that.
You're right. Absolutely.
But it doesn't
Anyway,
matter.
guys, that's a wrap for us. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this and want to keep on seeing more content like this, make sure you subscribe, smash that like button, leave a comment down below. We want to hear what your picks are. Who do you have going to the East and the Western Conference Finals? Let us know. But for now, that's it for us. For Jersey Joe, for former intern Matt, and for former co-host Neil Villapiano. And by the way, go subscribe to Devil's State of Mind and to Joe's
Miami Heat
podcast
in
as well.
5.
What's that?
I said Miami Heat in 5.
5.
I don't care that Jimmy Butler isn't playing tonight. They're gonna win anyway.
That might be true. I'm no
The Knicks are
basketball fan,
frauds.
but it is what it is. Anyway, that's going to do it for us. Go subscribe to Devil's State of Mind. Go subscribe to Jersey Joe's podcast. I'll
Heads
leave
Up
links to
Hockey
both down
Podcast.
below. What's that, Joe?
It's Heads Up Hockey Podcast.
Heads Up Hockey. Thank you, Joe. Appreciate it. But that's going to do it for us. For everybody here, for our entire crew, I'm Jimmy. This is The Bottom Line. Have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, and we'll catch you next time. Peace!
Go Devils.
And take care.
Peace.
Let's go Devils.
Let's go.